So, you're selling your home in Buford, Georgia. You're probably staring down one huge question. Should you upgrade the place or just sell it as is? You know, it can feel like a total gamble, but it really doesn't have to be. We're going to break down the data and show you the smartest path forward. This is it. This is the question every single seller in Buford has to answer. And listen, while the right move does depend a little on your specific situation, there is a clear, proven way to get the most money out of your sale. And the stakes? Oh, they are incredibly high. That's right, $94,000. That's the potential difference between just guessing what to do and actually knowing the right move. I mean, that is a life-changing amount of cash. So how do you make sure that money ends up in your pocket? Well, it all starts with understanding the playing field. To make the smart choice, we first have to get a really good handle on what's happening in the Buford market right now. It's all about knowing the local conditions and, maybe even more importantly, knowing exactly who you're selling your house to. You see, the market in Buford right now is split right down the middle. It's pretty dramatic. On one side, you have these move-in ready homes. They're flying off the market in about 3 weeks. But on the other side, a home that looks even a little bit dated can just sit and sit for up to 6 months. Just think about that for a second. That's 6 more months of mortgage payments, utilities, insurance, all while your money is just trapped in that house. So who is behind this massive demand for turnkey homes? Well, it's the 55 and older demographic. They make up a huge 42% of all the buyers in Buford. That makes them the single most powerful, most influential group out there. Basically, what they want is what shapes the entire market. And their motivation couldn't be clearer. They are not looking for a project. They're done with their careers, they've got the cash, and what they're really buying is convenience. They want to show up, unpack their boxes, and start living their lives, not interviewing contractors for a kitchen remodel. Okay, so how do we take this insight and turn it into cash? Simple. We build a strategy around it. When you know your buyer, you can focus only on the specific improvements that you know they'll love, the ones that generate the absolute highest return. This is the profitable playbook. And here it is. This is the proven Tier 1 package. For about $15,000 to $18,000, you can hit every single key point. Fresh paint, inside and out, fantastic curb appeal, professional staging, that all creates that wow, I can move right in feeling. And notice the little details like lever handles and grab bars. These are small, inexpensive touches that scream to that 55-plus buyer, this home is ready for you to live in comfortably for years to come. And if you need proof that these cosmetic fixes are the way to go, just look at these numbers. A fresh coat of exterior paint doesn't just pay for itself. It gives you a 152% return on your investment. That means for every single dollar you spend, you get $1.50 back. Same goes for interior paint. You're not spending money here, you are literally making money. Now let's talk about the flip side of this coin, because it is just as important to know what not to do. So many sellers fall into this trap where they think a massive renovation is going to lead to a massive payday. But, oh man, the numbers tell a very, very different story. Just think about this for a second. That giant $75,000 kitchen renovation you've been dreaming about, you'd be lucky to get even half of that money back. You could literally lose tens of thousands of dollars. Now, compare that to a simple paint job that actually makes you money. The choice is pretty obvious, right? So why do these big, expensive renovations fail so badly? Well, it's all because of this concept called the neighborhood price ceiling. See, every neighborhood has an invisible cap on what buyers are willing to pay. And once you hit that ceiling, it doesn't matter how fancy your upgrades are, you just can't push the price any higher. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's say the top price in your neighborhood is around $500,000. Putting a $75,000 luxury kitchen into your house does not magically make it a $575,000 house. It just becomes the most overimproved, overpriced house in the area, and smart buyers will just go look somewhere else. Okay, so we've covered the profitable upgrades and the money-losing renovations, but there is a third category of work that you absolutely have to know about, the repairs you cannot skip. These aren't about making a profit. These are about preventing your entire deal from completely falling apart at the last minute. Here's a story that happens all the time. Everything's going great, you have a buyer, and then the inspection happens. The inspector finds an old HVAC system. It's working fine, but it's old.
The buyer panics, thinking it's going to cost a fortune to replace, and they demand a massive $25,000 credit, which is way more than the actual cost. And just like that, a perfectly good deal completely collapses over an issue that you could have handled up front. These are the big four: an old HVAC or roof, any hint of foundation issues, or an old-school electrical panel. These are huge red flags, not just for buyers, but for their lenders too. Leaving these things unfixed is a massive gamble, one that can kill your sale right before you get to the closing table. Fixing them isn't about return on investment, it's about making sure you actually get there. So we've gone through the market, the buyer, the smart upgrades, the money pits, and the deal breakers. Now, let's pull all of this together into one simple framework so you can figure out exactly which path is right for your unique situation. It really all boils down to one of these three paths. Path 1. If your house is already in pretty good shape and you've got the time and the cash, doing those strategic improvements will absolutely make you the most money. Period. Path 2. If you know you've got some of those big deal breaker issues, you've got to focus your money there first. And path 3. If you're in a hurry or you're out of cash, selling as is always an option, but it comes at a very steep price. And that price is just staggering. The difference between the best case scenario, doing the smart strategic stuff, and the worst case scenario of selling as is to an investor could be as much as $126,000 in your pocket. This is probably the biggest financial decision you are ever going to make with your home. So the data is crystal clear. The playbook is right here in front of you. The question is no longer, what should I do? Now the question is, what will I do? Which one of these paths fits your situation, your life, and your financial goals? The choice is all yours.